What's happening? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Hope all is well. Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in from all social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, TikTok. And yeah, I don't know what we're going to talk about today, but I'm glad you're here. So I guess let's talk about evaluating businesses or buying businesses, because I guess that's the subject we was on. I was, discussing with an individual earlier about selling his or her business, and they was wanting to know what it's worth. And the individual said, "Well, is a business worth more or less contingent upon the town and the equipment?" And sometimes the answer, most times the answer is no when it comes to the equipment. The equipment should be included in the asking price. The equipment is just part of doing business. Sometimes people will factor in inventory. So if you had to maintain, say, if you wanted to buy a sub shop or a donut shop, or say you wanted to buy a restaurant, and that the food or the supplies you have to buy from the owner. They won't include the inventory as part of the asking price. But generally, the equipment, which is the FF&E, furniture, fixings, and the equipment. So furniture, tables, chairs, uh, fixtures, the light fixtures, the you know lighting, the hood vents, and the equipment, cash registers, the oven, the preparation tables. Generally, that stuff is included in the purchase price of a business. And a lot of people feel like since they paid a certain amount for it, then this should be extra. No, it's just a part of doing business. A lot of times, whenever you factoring in the multiplier for a business, you know, when you factor in the multiplier for a business, you're not going to look at the equipment. Generally, you're not going to factor in the inventory either. It's pretty much the asking price versus the seller's discretionary earnings, SED or SDE, seller SDE. That's pretty much what defines the multiplier. And the crappy part about it is, I've seen certain industries go for a ridiculous multiplier, and I've seen the same industry go for a super buyer friendly multiplier. So it's really subjective to the seller and the buyer. A business is like anything. A business is worth what a person is willing to pay for it at the moment. So if you have a business and the multiplier on that business is a three multiplier, you're making $250,000 a year. So it's a three multiplier. 250 times three is 750. So you'd be selling this business between 700 and 800,000. And you say, well, I want $2 million for it. All right, cool. Throw $2 million on it. If some clown out there in the world wants to pay $2 million for this crap, then sell it. And if you know it's bringing in $250,000, and the multiplier should be 750, but you want to sell it for 500, which is a two multiplier, and somebody wants to pay for it, then sell it. It's what the person is willing to pay for something, and a lot of people overlook. They kind of put a lot of emphasis on multipliers when in actuality it's really just what a person really willing to pay for something. You know, and me personally, I don't even care about multipliers. I don't even look at it. I don't care what the industry standard for something is when you buying a business. If I can service my debts and recoup my down payment and pay myself a salary, then I'm for it. Anything other than that, don't care. If I buy it for $1 million and the payment on the million is 100,000, and it brings in 150, then the 150 comes in. My payment is 100. That's $50,000 left. But I put $100,000 down. That means I'm negative $50,000 year one. That's a dud. That's a dud. I make no monies. I lose $50,000 from my initial down payment, and the only person that makes money is the person who bought it, who I bought it from, and the person who and the government when I get pay them loans back. Those are the only people that make money. And I think that's more important than a multiplier, which the industry standard states, oh man, you should be at this price, which is all subjective. That's all of that crap subjective. So whenever you are evaluating a business that you want to sell, you need to understand that